Alright, let's talk about the Avengers Endgame and how it didn't have a post-credit scene. It had a mid-credit scene, but it didn't have a post-credit scene. And I think they added one now. I think they added like something to the end, a trailer, or maybe it's a new scene. I don't know. I haven't seen it again. Only seen it twice. One before it came out and one after it came out with my friends, because I can get into pre-release screenings to movies. So that's when I first saw it, a pre-release screening, and we stayed to the end. There was no end credit scene, so we were like, we gotta tell people that there's no end credit, because I work at a theater. We gotta tell people that there's no end credit scene. So we made signs, put them up, and even the directors put like on Twitter that there was no end credit scene. So this was like a known thing. No end credit scene. On Twitter, we put up signs just in case anybody didn't know. So nobody waits to the end of the movie expecting post-credit scene. And, that definitely would help us out that weekend because, we were playing it a lot. Like, we were playing it back to back to back to back as much as we could. And we were also playing it in as many theaters as we could get away with it, in many auditoriums, as many screens as we could get away with them. And we had it on 14 of 16 screens, so we only had it playing in every but 2 theaters. That's pretty good. I've never seen a movie just take over a theater like that before. I mean, Infinity War got I think over half, 9 of 16, but that one got 14. That was ridiculous, because it was so busy. And yeah, definitely getting people out of the theater as soon as that mid-credit scene is over and start to get that huge crowd out so we can get the next huge crowd in, because we got to clean up the theater between showings, was definitely helpful that there wasn't an in-credit scene. Because like I said, we were playing it as much as we could. It's a 3-hour movie. So we're just squeezing it, in as much as we can, because there's a ton of people that are coming to see that movie. And, yeah, there was all these, fake BuzzFeed and shit articles, just bullshit like that. I'm picking on BuzzFeed. I think that they had one, but there was a bunch of them. There was just a bunch of saying bullshit that there is an end credit scene. Oh, there actually is an end credit. You gotta stay after the credits. And I'm like, why are they lying? Why are you fucking lying? I mean, I know why they're lying. They're just sensationalist, fucking fake news, yellow journalist assholes that just need views, and they know people are going to be on the internet because Endgame is fucking hype, and they're going to be on their computers and they're like, oh, I got to read everything about Endgame, and so they got to come up with some fucking bullshit, article, and one of the things they're going to think of is oh, the post-credit scene. Because they've probably seen the movie early or something, and they're like, oh, I'll talk about the post... Oh, there's no post-credit scene for me to write about. Well, I gotta write about something, right? I gotta write something about it. So they just write bullshit. They just make it up. They're just like, yeah, there's totally a post-credit scene. But that wasn't, too big of a problem for the most part. Most people, they know that's fake news, or they don't really read that kind of shit. They just see that we put up signs that said there's no end credit scene, and then they just leave. Sometimes we had to, we did walk in just in case people don't read the signs, because people don't fucking read. Most people will read them, but there's still a big enough percent, a good I don't know, maybe just bullshitting a number 1 in 4 people who just fucking oblivious to written word around them. It's they don't know English, but they do. They're just regular people. They just don't fucking take the time to read anytime someone puts words on something. So we walk in and we're in case you're wondering, in case you're waiting for a post-credit scene, there is no post-credit scene. But once in a while, twice that I was there, because, I do maintenance, but on busy times like this, and when they need the extra help, I do other stuff, work the floor, and this is when I was helping them clean. Twice when I was helping them clean between showings, did someone swear that because they read it on the internet, there was totally an after credits scene. Not the mid credits, after credits. They read it on it, so it had to be true. The first time was this fucking uber nerd. You know what I'm talking? Like a neck beard. The cliche. They always make fun of it on the internet. Overweight, has a neck beard. An ungroomed, weird looking beard, glasses, fedora, just the whole 9 yards. Like this guy was just like the embodiment. And like we were saying, oh, there's no, telling this crowd of few people left. Oh, there's no after credit scene. And he just stands up and he's just like, actually, I read on blah, blah, blah that there is something after and it's just like, I had to stop him. I was like, dude, one, I've seen this movie before. I've seen it all the way to the end of the credits, because, I guess at that point, it wasn't common knowledge that there was no after credits. I don't know if the directors had made that tweet yet. But I was like, already seen it to the end. We've cleaned... during the credits enough times that we've seen the end all the way to the logo and there's no credits. Like everyone here telling you there's no credits they know from experience, from firsthand, that there's no credits. Nobody's yanking your chain to get you out of here early. There's no credits. That's what you're expecting, you can go ahead and go, because it kind of helps us out to get people out of here. It's okay if there's like a couple people, but moving people, go ahead and getting it started, getting the crowd out of there while, we try to clean up. Definitely gives us a jump on it, because, it's filthy with a ton of people in there. And, he kind of just, at that, what is he going to say? He just kind of like, oh, no, rally. And then he just kind of leaves. Later, there was, like, this, cliche, just kind of sucker mommy, kind of looking, middle-aged woman that kind of, like, tied up her own ass or whatever, and she was just, we told her, same thing, oh, in case you're wondering, there's nothing after the credits, and she's like, oh, actually, I read on blah blah blah.com or whatever, .org, that there is something after the credits, but she stayed. She didn't believe us. She was so, like, up her own ass that she had to be right, because she's one of those people, she has to be right. That's what this is about. Her being right and us being wrong. She thinks this, we think that, we must be wrong because we're not her. Blah, blah, blah. So she sits there after the credits and, the logo comes up and there's that little hammer sound and she's like, that was what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that. And her family's just like, see, Karen, there was nothing after the credits. The guy was right the whole time. So she kind of she made herself look like an idiot in front of her family and left. But yeah, it's just annoying. Like, I know it's like not really a big deal, because like I said, only 2 people that I saw believed it. Other people probably did too. And it is, if 1 or 2 people are staying or saying there's credits, like half the audience is probably going to try to stay, because people have like kind of this herd mentality. Well, he says it's true, then maybe it is true. I came all this way and I paid my money, I don't want to come back, so I might as well stay. So we gotta tell him, oh, he's wrong, he's dumb, he believes everything he reads on the internet. You shouldn't listen to him. But yeah, like, I don't, it's just sad to see, and I know that's like a minor thing, just an after credits scene in a movie, but they do it with more major things, the news, these journalists, news journalists, whatever they're called, they try to pass off their bullshit and lies and misinformation as information because they want people to click and look and get their views and yada yada yada. It's just fucking stupid. Oh, and before I forget, while I'm still ranting on about this, someone actually left a review about that. Yeah. See, our theater gets reviews on the internet just like anything else. We've got pretty high reviews. We got 4.5 stars out of 5. That's pretty good. But someone left a review. They didn't leave their name, so I don't know if someone finds this review that I'm, like, dissing. I don't really feel too bad because they wrote it with a obviously fake name, so whatever. I know this is months ago, this is old news, but I just felt like doing a rant. This was like the first thing that came to mind. Anyway, it's like, went to see Avengers Endgame. Signs on the door stated there were no mud or post-credit scenes. which, he spelled mid wrong, and we didn't have any signs. Some of those no mid-credit scenes, just that there was no post-credit scenes. After enduring 3 hours of slurping and crinkling of candy wrappers and smacking of popcorn, I guess that's just the pitfalls of seeing it with a huge crowd, I saw it, like I said, before it came out, so I didn't have to deal with that. And the second time I saw it was also a more, it wasn't a public screening either, it was like a smaller one. So I never had to deal with a big crowd, so, that sucks for him. And cell phones ringing and alerting and texting. Okay, at the theater, we do try, it may not seem like it at all times, but we do try to keep people off their phones. We really do try to keep them, shut up and off their phones. The problem is we can't, it's not feasible to pay someone to sit in each theater and watch everyone the whole movie. Instead, we pay people to walk around and look into movies and just check on things. So we're really only going to ever catch people that are, constantly doing it. If someone is doing something like that in your theater, if they're on the phone or talking, just go talk to a manager. We'll investigate it. And if they're being a complete asshole, we'll kick them out. It's no problem. Because we don't want them in there any more than you do. And they're making us look bad. Anyway, back to the review. I left only to learn there is a sound after the credits that the writers meant to be sublime. First of all, I'm pretty sure that's not how you use the word sublime. Second of all, the directors of the movie said there was no post-credits scene. There was nothing at the end. So that is clearly not something that the writers meant to be blah, 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 whatever you think it is. This is what he thinks it is. The sound of Tony Stark pounding his original armor in the cave. And maybe that's what it is, but who gives a shit? It's just a sound effect over the logo. The logo, which is probably at the end of all the fucking movies. You know what I meant? I know it was at the end of Captain Marvel, because we were playing that in one of the other theaters while we were playing Endgame. Then he goes on to write, this theater robbed its patrons of a subtle yet potent moment. I know that's his opinion. His opinion of this sound effect over the slow. Oh, it's so important to see. Oh, you gotta see it. You just gotta see it. It's so important to see. But here's my opinion about this guy's opinion. I think he's an idiot. I think he's a fucking sensationalist dumbass that believes everything he reads, and he doesn't believe that he could be wrong or duped by fucking people fucking around writing bullshit fake news articles, and so now he's all worked up in this belief that, this end credit scene is just this profound and important thing that everyone has to see, because they wouldn't write articles about it if it was, of course they would write articles about it. They write articles about anything. They don't give a shit. They just know that you'll fucking eat up, you'll click on it, you'll dance to anything. Some people will just dance to anything, and he's one of them. And that's my opinion about his opinions. But that's just my opinion. It's opinions, man. You can have whatever opinion you want. I don't know if this was interesting, this rant. I don't fucking know. But I'm ending it here because it's already, gone too long, I think, already. Peace.